All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Bodybuilding Breakdown. I am joined today by none other than AJ KellyRobert. Sir, thank you very much for joining me.
Congratulations with the progress of your YouTube channel. Great content. You're getting a lot better, and I see you got a lot of good guests. Very different topics, and it's very interesting to see the growth of your channel. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate that very much, very much. And it's great to be able to have individuals such as yourself to be able to have these very in-depth discussions, especially during this 2025 season. It has been, I'm sure you'll agree with me, one for the history books. It has been unbelievable when it comes to the competitions, the level of competitors, even in the fourth quarter of the bodybuilding season. Absolutely unheard of.
It's crazy. We're 5 weeks to the O, and we just got this almost season, what can I say, story of the bodybuilding season. And I saw the way you were on your Instagram. You could not believe what Urs brought to the stage. It was crazy.
Nobody, and I mean, I will say very few. I only know of one that had Urs pick to actually win. Shout out to Mark's Max Muscle. But otherwise, Mark's Max Muscle?
Yeah, he had Urs.
He did, and he's the only one that I know of. Yeah,
that's.
I mean, there was.
I did not have him. I actually laughed when I heard Bob Chick said on this voice of Bob there, and he said he had Urs winning, and I started laughing, and I would never believe what we saw. Never.
Well, there's two. Hats off to Bob as well. I mean, me, you, Giles Tiger Thomas, I mean, Ron Harris, the list goes on of individuals who did not see this coming. But I'm sure you'll agree as well. That's what made this such an exciting show. I've never been so pleased to be wrong about a placing at a show.
I think for the people who saw the stream, and I don't know if people saw it, some people probably watched your watch-along party. When instantly Urs showed up on the screen, I was shocked. Because he was standing next to a 212 guy, obviously, but still, when he rose up from the dead almost there, and the arms, what happened to the arms?
And the arms was the one thing that I said we're not going. Specifically, I said the arms will not be big enough. Completely and totally incorrect.
It's crazy. That was spectacular. Yeah.
Unbelievable show. We also had Quint Beastwood, who was there for his third show of the season, taking his second time placing second in the 2025 season. Really, really fantastic return to the stage from Mark Hector as well. Sergio Oliva Jr., not getting the placing that he was looking for. He did not look happy about his fourth place. That's for sure. And a great showing for Lewis Breed as well when it comes to that top five. You know, Lewis Breed consistently bringing that hard, grainy muscle and conditioning. Nobody can take that away from him. Couple that with the size, you're going to see a guy that's going to keep making first callouts at a lot of shows.
Quentin, obviously, a little bit disappointed. Looked to be in better condition now than we saw him at Tampa. I don't know. There's not so many poses he lost to Urs, was it? Because if you go post by post, there's not so many shots he lost like that. But Urs, just very detailed, don't you think? A lot of detail, and his physique really popped. There was a lot of striations. There was a lot of separation in his chest and in his abs and in his shoulders and his legs. But if you go post by post, it was very close, wasn't it?
It absolutely was. And to your point of Urs having those details, that's, I think, one thing that really put him ahead of a lot of the pack here. You had Quint Beastwood, who had pretty good detail in the quads, and I think substantially better conditioning when it comes to the lower body in the back shots. You had someone like Mark Hector, very good conditioning when it comes to the lower body, good separation in the arms. Even Sergio, I think this is some of the best quad detail that I think I've seen from Sergio, as well as the arm separation. So the thing that came down to it for me was just the overall package for Urs. I mean, he just from top to bottom was more complete than anybody else that was standing on that stage. He wasn't missing, especially when you look at the front shots. There was not much that he was missing. That quad sweep was better than anybody else on stage. The proportions from top to bottom, the arms, like you said, unbelievable. Unbelievable progress.
Tremendous. Mark, phenomenal, incredible, very close, I think, with all those three. Mark definitely brought the conditioning from the front, especially. It was the back in Mark wasn't as hard as the front. I spoke to him today. I also spoke to Q because what's interesting for fans, we have the same head judge at this show as we have now. I'm going, by the way. I'm going to be in Germany. It's sold out, 2,000 people, jam-packed. I'm going there to see the show live, and it's the same head judge, Billy. I think his name, Billy. He's the head judge of this show, and he's also the head judge of Germany. So when you ask him for feedback, it's probably very interesting for the athletes because it's the same head judge, eh? So he wanted to see more fullness in Q. And he wanted to see a drier, more conditioned back from Mark.
Okay. I can agree with both of those things, I think. And I think between now and the Germany show, for Mark, I think that that's something he can improve on. I don't think Quint Beastwood is planning on going to Germany at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong. He will.
Yes, of course. You cannot get, hey, this is the last Olympia qualification. You're in shape.
Look, as he should. As he should. Now, I understand that Urs is also planning on doing Germany.
In Germany, in your home, jam-packed arena. I believe ESN, his sponsors, is sponsoring the show. We got Boss Outlaw territory in Germany. I don't know. Can anyone beat him? I don't know.
After what we just saw, it depends on who else is going to show up that we may not be considering past what we saw at the Italy. But given the Italy, let's go through a few of these poses from the first callout in particular.
And
very impressive.
Sergio made a very interesting post. I don't know if you saw. Did you see his explanation to what happened?
I did not.
No, we can maybe look at it later. But he showed some pictures how he looked 4 hours before the stage, and then he said that him and Boss Outlaw, the plan was to eat, and it backfired.
Okay.
We can look at those pictures maybe later. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. We'll go through a few of these poses, and then we'll go through a couple of these guys individually. So, starting right from the start of the front double bicep, I mean, my eyes immediately, I find, go to, for me, it was Urs, especially standing right in the center. Too many guys that were in the first callout, I will say that. I mean, they had like 8 guys in the first callout, which was unfortunate.
I didn't like all the movements of them. There was also some times with wrong he called different poses that wasn't supposed to be, and he switched them around so much it was a little bit confusing.
It was. 6 people in a first callout maximum, in my opinion. So for what we had here, break this down for me. Where did your eyes first get drawn when it came to this front double bicep?
Urs, the completeness, the thickness in the legs, incredible to keep that vacuum in, arms exploding, but also you need incredible structure of Quinton, who has the superior structure in this lineup.
Absolutely. You know, the fullness to the arms, especially for Quinton, the proportions in the arms, especially for Quinton, I think, you know,
incredible. And look at those
best
calves
that I saw. Oh, you know, unbelievable. Really good conditioning through the quads, like I said as well. Very wide across the chest, and even though I think that he was being not out-angled, but I think that Sergio did have just a step, just half a step even ahead of both Quint Beastwood and Urs, still holding his own very well in the size department. One area that Quint Beastwood has needed to improve on.
And also, this is here where, you know, I don't think he's fully in the post, but this is posters breed where you can see the structures a little bit different with the waist.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's always been his Achilles heel. But him knowing that full well and showing up with the rock hard grainy conditioning and the size, that's what puts him through in certain poses. Side chest is definitely one of them for Lewis Breed.
Mm.
Now, continuing with the front lat spread. So this one was very, very competitive, I felt as well. You've got guys that are very wide across the shoulders in this shot.
Oh, look at this, yeah.
Yeah,
That's incredible. The thickness in pecs of Urs there, isn't it? In the front, in the quads.
not something I was expecting. The roundness of the quads is really what puts Urs, I think, ahead of everybody in this lineup. Especially, of course, standing right in the center, but it just creates that balance from top to bottom. He has that tie into the hip where it really, really rounds out the entire quad. And some of these guys are a little bit more straight up and down. Like Quint Beastwood, that's one thing with him. He needs more size on those quads to create that roundness.
But look how beautiful shape. What Welbeck on the left. Look how he's flowing there. That's beautiful.
You're
On the
absolutely
left.
right. Absolutely right. Absolutely. And
that's old. That's real classic shape, as they say.
Excellent balance from top to bottom as well. He deserved to be in that first call-out without question. But for this pose, I think I would give it to Urs. I think that, and this being one that I wasn't expecting, the roundness of the chest is something that he really has over all of these guys in the lineup. And after just coming from Classic, again, not something I was expecting.
But Quinton is looking big in it, though. Look how wide he is at the top from shoulder to shoulder width. Do you see that? Best in the lineup.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely the biggest shoulders in this shot. That's for sure. Yeah, posing it very well, very well. Side chest again. Just to reiterate my point with Lewis Breed, as you can see,
look at the hamstring on Lewis Breed.
Just dug out gnarly, like the striations through the hams and glutes. This guy has a ridiculous side chest.
That's his coach, Mark Winston. He's the most winning coach in UK right now. He's known for conditioning, and I think a lot of people love Breed because even if he has structural flaws, he brings 100%, and not everyone does that. So I think people can relate when they see guys with epic genetics not nailing it. I think they feel like for the workhorse, always nailing it. Don't you think with Breed?
I absolutely agree. And this is someone that is continuously showing up, I think, bringing a better package every single time. And this is no different for Lewis Breed. I mean, the size is there, the conditioning, the hard, grainy muscle. It's what we've come to expect, but also I think that he's actually continuing to improve on his strong points with every show that he actually does. I mean, look at that rear delt pop. I mean, that's
so who do you have in the side chest? Because I don't have Urs in this one.
I don't have Urs in this one either. Honestly, I think that it would be between definitely Lewis Breed, but I do like Quint Beastwood in this shot as well.
Look at the conditioning in the hamstrings of Quinton.
Exactly. And he's got the pec striations as well, you know, the quad separation. Yeah. Very, very good shot for Quint Beastwood, and very aesthetic in this shot as well. Holding his own in the size department, I feel, you know, not lacking size in particular, and posing it, I think, very well for his shape. But ultimately, I would give it to Lewis Breed.
Okay.
Yeah. So continuing with now. This is where things really got interesting. This is where it really got interesting for me. Quint Beastwood notably improved in the lower body. One thing that he's always been criticized for, not having those striations throughout the glutes, and really brought that up this time. 110%. Break down this shot for me from your point of view.
Urs, right now, people are really into hamstrings and glute development in the back double. You noticed it? It's almost like they're talking about it more than the back itself in the back double by. Urs's back is not this is why I have a little bit problem when people are saying Dorian Yates, Urs, because that is Dorian's top 2 back of all time, isn't he?
I agree. That is
and
one
Urs
area
does not have a top 2 back at the moment, and now we can't see Mark in it that much because Urs is covering him. The back double by, I don't know. Look at all the detail in Welbeck on the left there, huh?
That's one thing that I think was this being everyone so impressed with Urs. We cannot deny the fact that Welbeck does have a ridiculous back double bicep. A lot of detail there,
A
really
lot of
dug out as
detail.
well. Yeah, really, really deep too. Good balance from top to bottom, good X frame. This is an excellent shot for him.
So when you see those top four there, I think I don't want to use the word Sergio could need a little bit more back development, correct?
Yeah, I agree. I think
And
that
so could
there's
Quinton. He can get a little bit more density in the back. And then Mark didn't bring the same condition in the back as the front was the feedback. And I think he agreed on that too. And Urs doesn't also have the best back out of those four. So then you look probably at the glutes and hams, correct? And then Urs is really got some crazy glutes and hams, huh?
he was, I think, just a step ahead of these guys when it comes to the lower body here. And again, him having the overall X frame that he has really, really did separate him from the pack. But if I really did have to give it to someone in this shot, I mean, like you said, Welbeck is really, really nailing it with this shot.
But we don't see the thickness, so it's hard on pictures because Welbeck is the smallest out of the lineup.
You're right. You're right. And that's why we can't go by pictures entirely. But
I don't
for what we're
I like I don't know I just think Q looks big in this shot, but he takes up a lot of space. But I do see the glutes and hams of Urs. I think this is I don't know. I feel you have to because you don't see thickness in pictures, huh?
you're right about that. You're right about that. But really, really excellent. You know, all of these guys have an argument when it comes to certain aspects of their facility. Not everybody, but even from Welbeck to Urs, you know, with the lower body, Sergio does need more to back development in the upper body, but also showed
Oh,
up
those legs
with
are
Pierce,
phenomenal on Sergio.
and he's actually posing this better than I've seen him pose it as well. That's one thing I will say. His feet are not as wide as I've seen him do previously, and I think that the closer he can put together his feet, it's going to give him that illusion of bigger legs, especially from the back. So I do like the way that he's at least posing this here. I did want to note that.
So we really didn't even get a winner in the back double dive by, did we? It was
Unfortunately, not really. Usually with the back double, there's usually somebody that's a standout, and in this one, I didn't find. One could argue that with the back lat spread really as well.
is
Not really
Mark
fair to.
is Mark in the
Sorry.
shot here or
No, he's not in the shot, and I don't think
no?
Sergio is entirely
No, I don't
in
think
the
they're in
shot
it.
either. No, but even being, Mark, when he was in the shot, actually, I think that he did display a good amount of thickness in the upper body.
Yeah, he's brought a lot of improvements, Mark, to this. Weren't you impressed with the improvements you saw with Mark?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He was well improved. And I think that he'll have more improvements when it comes to him stepping on stage in Germany as well. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people don't realize the injuries that this guy has gone through
Oh,
just to return to the stage. I mean, it's
he
very
shouldn't even
impressive.
have really great job with what he's been doing. And imagine he never gave up, huh?
No, absolutely. No, I'm really, really happy to see him back competing. Um,
The lat spread,
I,
it's hard because I don't see Sergio's not in the polls, I think, and Mark is not in the polls. Who do you? Urs's lats are not that wide, huh?
no, and he's lacking detail. You know, there's not a
In the
lot of
back,
detail
yeah.
in the upper body. Yeah, the upper
The
body, the lower
phenomenal hams
body.
glutes, of course.
Of course, of course. So again, this is another situation. Even like Sergio in the pose and Mark in the pose. This show wasn't great from the back overall. I didn't find.
No, and
Um,
Sergio explained that he just ruined his body with the peaking, and that he faded, and that he lost entire prep. He said so. All that detail and conditioning in his upper body were gone.
we'll
So, as you clearly see in the abs and thighs, that was his worst pose, as you can see.
he looked genuinely uncomfortable hitting this shot.
Uncomfortable in the pose. You can see his face, and it's just not. He get very boxy in the waist, and But I don't. Is this the properly posed? These guys, I don't think is really Quinton and Mark in that post properly here.
I don't think it was too far off from
Okay.
from these guys being in the shot. You know, for Mark, maybe he was flexing down on his abs some more, but I think that this was pretty close. I mean, this was Mariah Yu photo, one of the best in the
Yes.
business,
Yeah.
and these were the photos that he put up. But we'll look at some of these individually as well,
Mm.
and see if we can't see some differences. But even regardless, from what I saw during the multiple rounds of posing on the live stream, I think this pose clearly went to Urs. Just from balance from top to bottom, not looking like he's lacking size compared to these other guys. The sweep of the quads, that feathering in the quads as well. I was very impressed with Urs in this one.
And that's the Dorian post. They're saying they're crazy quads, brick abs, crazy. He has phenomenal lats from the front, as you can see.
Oh, absolutely, and that's just it.
Thick chest. You can see the lats. You have the veins going on the lats, and it's just bursting, and it's. Uh, I don't think he added 30 pounds, as they say. I think he added some of the because when he diets for classic, he loses the muscle. I think this time he just didn't lose the muscle, and he added. Don't you think?
No, I agree. 30 pounds, I think, is
Impossible.
a bit of yeah. It's definitely a stretch, but it does show that. I mean, obviously, he just won the show, so we can see that he does have room to grow. Where in classic, I wasn't even sure that he was able to even grow his arms because every season he came back pretty much the same. Like conditioning was different, but this shows that he definitely has room to grow.
In the absent thigh, yeah, okay. So absent thigh, you had Urs, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, sorry for the absent thigh. Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I think Urs, but I also really like Quinton in it because it's old school, beautiful. Like, can you imagine when you're 6'3", 6'2", and 280 to keep a post like Tony Freeman, like him, like Samson, like Sean Roden, even though he wasn't as tall as them. It's impressive.
absolutely. To
And
be able to hit
Wolbeck
a
on the
shot like
left,
that.
Wolbeck looks like a Frank Zane there, huh?
Actually, you're right. The iconic vacuum of Frank Saint and the arms, the way that he has the arms back, just much further than we see these other guys. It does have that Frank Zane kind of silhouette to it. You're right.
Yeah. And what's your opinion on Breed on the right? I really don't like it when guys don't hit a conventional abs and thigh. This is to me a most muscular, but it's allowed. You heard Tyler Mannion say it, and that's why Derek keeps switching it up. And what's your opinion on this post? Because it's almost impossible to judge him in it.
So this is a situation where a competitor knows what their strong points are and trying to hide their weak points. Since it is allowed, I personally don't like it. Since it is allowed, I think that it is the proper pose for him. But is it
Yeah.
going to win him an abs and thigh? No, it
No.
just means that he's not going to necessarily lose the pose as much as he could if he was to hit it conventionally.
Mm. And maybe Sergio should have hit it something like that today when he wasn't feeling the waist.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. It may have helped him in that sense. Like I said, not win the pose, but maybe not look as bad in the pose as he may here.
But I still have Mark a clear third, if not even. So I don't think that would change anything here. I'm surprised Mark didn't get more love in the. We can go to the next pose. Yeah, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Now this is one for Mark. This is a money
Oh,
shot for Mark.
crazy. And Breed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This is
Yeah.
a great. Like, all these guys. This was probably the number one post for me for all of these guys. This one really stood out for maybe not so much for Urs, but I mean Lewis Breed.
No.
This is his bread and butter. Mark Hector, absolute bread and butter. Like just freaky mass. Like these guys really
Who
enjoyed
would
this
you
one for
give it
these
to,
guys.
Mark or Breed? I'm going Mark because of the details.
Yeah, details throughout the entire physique and the overall flow from top to bottom. The
Yeah.
the roundness of the shoulders coupled with the proportion of the arms, I would go with Mark.
And when he came out, that's the first thing we saw, wasn't it? When he hit the most, it was just like, whoa, like crazy. Yeah, I just wish he could have brought the same from the back.
Yeah, and I think that those are areas where he can definitely improve. I
Yeah.
believe he is going to go on to compete.
Oh,
I don't think that he'll be done this season.
he's doing Germany, and if that doesn't work out, meaning work out for him, he's not coming for second place or third. People, guys like that, they don't compete for compete; they compete to win. So if that doesn't work, my prediction is the right after the O we have the UK show, and that will be him versus James Hollingshead. I predict in his home
Now,
country.
we are seeing a rise of the UK yet again. I mean, we have Lewis Breed and Mark Hector finishing top 5 at the Italy
Yeah.
Pro, both UK natives. So very, very impressive lineup. And like I said before, when it comes to the later half of the season, the fourth quarter of the season, to have this caliber of a lineup, very, very privileged as bodybuilding fans. I don't think
Mm.
people necessarily understand. Very, very privileged.
Do we have a side triceps or
I think,
because side chest we had?
yeah, we did. Yeah. Not in these
No.
shots. Let me see if I can find one.
I just think, and
Uh,
what's very interesting or and refreshing for me, well, I wasn't aware of how, because my main class, actually, I follow all the classes, actually, even the girl. Do you watch girls?
that's one area that I haven't really been watching
And that
because
sounds very suspicious that you with that answer, by the way. Do you watch girls? And you say that's not something I really do. I don't know. Is that is that something? No.
oh Lord.
So I watch all the classes because I commentate at shows, and so
Yes.
I like all classes because I like people, so I get to know the people, and then each class. I have my favorite classes and not like for women. Obviously women's bodybuilding, as I run the female bodybuilding channel. We cover women's bodybuilding, women's physique, and figure. But classic, it's not my favorite male class. That's obviously the open. And
Right.
I wasn't aware how popular Urs actually was until today. It's just the Instagram is just going crazy with what it did. And I'm so positively shocked. It takes a lot to shock me in bodybuilding because I've seen everything that's happened the last, like, I can't even remember for how long, and nothing has shocked me. Has anything shocked you more than this in the last 2 3 years?
Not that I can recall. Not to this degree
No,
of
no.
somebody coming into a show that not many had, even being on the
And
radar of winning.
and he kept the waist at 30 pounds. He kept the waist, bro.
I can't, it's no different than classic, no different than when he was in classic. It's just like he put all the
Incredible.
weight on in all the right places and stood up next to open guys with absolutely nothing left on the table.
But it's also funny how people, because he was not as conditioned as we seen him in classic. Have you noticed now that no one's talking about condition? Now it's about size. But before with
Absolutely.
Samson, it's all about conditioning. Have you noticed how fans they flip flop for whatever they whatever they're feeling that day? Have you noticed it?
I think part of it is because people are so impressed that Urs really carried so much size in comparison to some of these really big guys in the sport. Now, I think that the comparison is going to come more to the conditioning factor for Urs. Obviously, we're still going to be
Okay.
looking for more size, but the shock factor is over, right? We're
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
expect more size next time that well, I mean, obviously he'll go through the Germany and then he'll go to the Olympia, but when he takes that off season, comes back again, we're going to expect more size with that increase in conditioning, and that is his path to success in the open.
Because I was looking at the list, and realistically, so we have Samson, Derek, Hardy, Walker, Martin, Andrew, Brandon, Tonio Burton. In no order. That's 8 guys. You're pretty comfortable saying gonna be in the top 8, correct?
For Urs?
No, those guys I said now.
Oh,
Derek,
yes.
Walker, Samson, Hardy, Nick. No, I said Martin, Andrew, Curry, Tonio Burton. That's 8 guys, correct?
I agree. I think that will be your top 8.
And then Bonac is a very good likely to be top 9, wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
Berus is not making it. No visa. That means we got Urs, Brett, Rubiel, Good Vito,
Good veto. Yep.
Regan, and Jordan left. Can Urs make the top 10?
With this current physique, I don't think so. No. Unfortunately, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think that he has enough when it comes to some of those names that you may have mentioned. I mean, we're talking about guys that are absolute monsters of the sport that
Regan,
bring. Yeah, sure.
Regan lost to Sassam, correct?
Regan did.
That's not a good sign.
No, no, it's not a good sign.
Brett, we've never seen.
Correct.
Rubiel, that's a wild card. Is he going to stay on the diet alone now, prepping for the O? Is he going to start celebrating before the O? I don't know.
He has been the face of inconsistency when it comes to bodybuilding competitions. There's no question. However, he did win 2 shows this season.
Good Vito. Could he have beaten Bonac at Pittsburgh if he made it? I would say maybe.
Yep, I think it's possible.
So that means we have no idea who's going to be the top 10, right? The last man.
I think that no, the top 8 is very much. I think that's very much looking like you mentioned when it comes to those names.
It's going to be great.
But that's just the thing. From 9th to could be 15th.
Oh,
Typically, those aren't very exciting placings at the Olympia. I mean, being honest, those aren't typically exciting placings for most of the fans of bodybuilding. This year, it will be without question. There will be very exciting placings within the 9th place to the 15th place.
Last year, Theo, he made one of the last place at the Olympia. He was now 7th place. He didn't even make this first call out here, huh?
No, he didn't. No.
Justin Shire 2 years ago at the Olympia. He was, what was he? 12th at whatever show that was last?
Yeah, 12th or 13th. Yeah.
It was so the level today, bodybuilding, this is crazy level. Freaky size, aesthetics, condition. You can't win the show today if you don't have your waist in check, if you don't have great condition. If you're looking funky, you're not winning any show.
And look, that's exactly what happened to Sergio here. So, like you were saying, this is the post that Sergio made. Staying here that, let me see, bodybuilding is about timing. Can you
put it on, or is that hard?
I'm sorry?
Can you put it on the screen, or that doesn't work?
Oh, can you not see it?
No, now I see Sergio and the first call out. I don't see the Sergio post. Is that where you were referring to?
Oh, yes. Oh, you can't see my screen there? Okay.
Maybe the viewers can.
They should be able to.
Also, while you're searching for Sergio, Keone, huh?
Oh, Keone. Unbelievable.
No, you heard the announcement.
Coming into open, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, you can read it for the viewers.
Absolutely. So it says here, bodybuilding is about timing. Most guys post pics saying I look good the day before or mostly the day after. I have never in my life seen anyone fuck up their whole prep in 4 hours. If you swipe, you can see I sent these pics to my coach 4 hours before prejudging. Still needed improvement, but eating more food in my stomach was not the move. I completely blew up my stomach, and it just looks like another typical Sergio showing. God. That's really too bad. He does go on to say, but for me to have worked the hardest I've ever have and be looking the best ever, to just drop the ball hours before stage and place the worst I ever have in my life, 4th place, has me devastated. It's on me as a pro to know my body. I have been doing this long enough.
So he's saying that the peak was just the opposite of what he needed. He said something similar at FIBO. That was the first show him and the coach he's referring to is this Boss Outlaw, Stefan. And then now the strategy they did didn't work at all. As you can see, the picture, he has a much flatter midsection, but this is not stage or state lighting though. This is in the hotel room. But he posted, I think you can post pick one more. I think he sent it to his coach for evidence, so people don't think he's just making it up. And it's a shame, because this look, we don't know how far it would have gone. But you have to understand, Sergio. He has a lot of What's a shame about this industry? There's a lot of people that is constantly trolling him, yeah. And it's a lot of negativity, and there's a lot of hateful comments. And some people say he brought it on himself and whatever. But the point of the fact is, when you're a guy on a prep for a show, you're getting in shape, and then you get hundreds of people trolling you constantly. And then this happened. I think he's having he's in a dark spot mentally now, I think.
I think based on what we're reading here in this post, yeah, he is
Yeah.
absolutely just crushed the
Yeah.
fact that he put in so much work. And I think
And
most would
look at
agree
the
that
comment there. You need retirement. Don't fool yourself. You know it inside. Like, you know, it's not easy, huh? For people put themselves in there. And you know, as a YouTuber, when you get comments, they're probably mostly positive. But when you get one of those like you're full of shit or you don't know what you're talking, but if you get thousands of them, it's not a good feeling, huh?
no, and especially given the fact that Sergio was very, very close, based on what we're seeing here, very close, I think, to showing up and really having a good run at that top three. I think he would have been happy with top three. You know, I think he knew the show that he was walking into, the competitors that he was going up against, and especially the momentum that Quint Beastwood had behind him. Nobody saw Urs coming. Nobody, and you can't be upset with that. But I think that if this version of Sergio would have showed up, then
Yeah,
I
but
think that he would have.
we would see probably at least that top four call out alone in a real call out and really battling and but you see the midsection. Once Sergio's midsection is good, I think he is very concerned about his chest because his chest is like his weakest body. It's a little bit flat, correct? He had some surgery,
Correct.
injury, whatever it was, and I think he wants to fill up the chest, but then the waist got, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fact of the matter is, he is continuing to place in the first call out of virtually every show that he does. That is not, and I repeat, that is not a bodybuilding competitor that needs to consider retirement.
Oh,
That is a bodybuilding competitor that needs to
stupid.
continue to work.
Yeah, yeah. Top four is his
Is his worst?
lowest placing. Imagine that.
We need to celebrate athletes like this that continuously show up and be in that first call out and continue to bring improvements. Now, this show, he dropped the ball. He admitted it. I do want to see him come back again, and I do want to see him finally nail it. I really do want to see it because this, I think, would have put him in contention for a top 3 spot.
Well, if it's just the carb up process, we have the exactly same lineup besides Team breaking news. What's his name? The German is in.
Oh, Tim Budasheim.
Roman Fritz.
Oh, sorry, Roman Fritz. Yes.
So we have almost the same lineup. And if this was a peaking issue, then he should have no problem doing Germany as it is just 6 days away.
Absolutely. He's already over in Europe. Stay there. Take a couple of days, clear your head, get back into it, go to a new country, and really find your footing. Bring this to the stage. That's what I want to see. Bring this to the stage. You've got a week to do it. There's no reason why he can't. If it was a simple carb up process, no reason why he can't.
Last thing, sorry, because I had a prior engagement. Before I go, Keone, what's your thoughts?
So, why don't you take me through the announcement? I know that he's planning on going to the Open. What are the details behind that?
So he's weighing now. I think he's going to be at the Olympia around 210. He's just exactly almost at the limit. He announced that he wanted to try a challenge. So right after the O, 2 weeks after the O, I think it's 2 or 3, Tickets are on sale now. That's evilyes.com or Instagram. And he's doing the Open right after the O, just like Bumstead. He has a couple of weeks to do whatever his coach, Patrick Tor, one of the best coaches in the world. They probably have the strategy. And will he come 220? Will he come 215? Will he come similar, work on the conditioning only and not like fuller? Or he will do the EVS Prague sold out arena just like Bumstead. I'm doing official commentary down there, so maybe we can, I'm offering to go on live with you after the show so you can get a breakdown, because I'm going to sit in 1 meter and sniff the spray tan from the goods. I'll be sitting closer than the judges, and we have Big Chriso in confirmed, but it's not over, because remember what Keone and Sam, there's a lot of talk who's the best body in the world, correct?
Absolutely.
And what happens if Samson want to prove the world? Well, obviously, he's already proven it because he's Mr. Olympia. There's only one Mr. Olympia. I don't know what people are talking about. But what if he jumps in?
If Samson jumps in, then we will have let's say Samson jumps in regardless if he wins the Olympia or not. We will have our Mr. Olympia champion from 2024, and many people's eyes 2025 as well, going up against an undisputed champion of the 212 division. We're talking about an individual that is on the level of Ronnie Coleman when he used to compete. There was nobody that could even come close. It was everyone else fighting for second place. That is the definition of Keone Pearson. So to stand next to an individual like that at 220 pounds, when Samson could be closer to 300, I mean, Chriso as well.
Remember also, whoever doesn't make the top three, like Martin last year at the O, he did Prague to get that early Olympia qualification. So whoever's fourth, fifth, or sixth, if they're smart, you know what? I can take out that Keone. He's 210. I'm 255. And I don't want to do a whole year of prepping for some weak show next year. I want my qualification now. I want to teach this guy a lesson. You don't know who's going to jump in.
This is just it. It being so close to the Olympia, there's somebody that could say somebody that finished within the 6th to 8th place in the Olympia potentially, even 6th to 10th.
Yeah.
Well, standing next to Keone Pearson, you are going to have a lot of people watching, and especially if you can go shot for shot with the guy and even win a couple of shots. Look, you're going to turn some heads. You could create some momentum for yourself going into the 2026 season that way. You know, people are going to remember. The EVLS Prague Pro is becoming one of the most exciting shows.
Best shows in Europe. World.
It really is. It really is. I mean, we saw the premiere of Nextzilla entering, I mean, in the same weekend. He turned pro, then stuck next to Samson and Chriso and Nathan Diasha, finishing third place. Like that. And ever since then, now with Chris Bumstead and then Martin Fitzwater, this is really becoming a very, very exciting show.
And remember, you can bring, remember, if you have the finances or if you're able to fly, remember, I can get you the press pass. So if you come with Max Muscle and you can come to Prague and we have VIP party with the wellness girls after, and bro, this can be something.
Sure, my wife would love that.
Oh, no, well, we will skip that part then. But anyway, so it's going to be great. But remember, whoever comes up, Keone is tough to beat, man. This guy is packed. That condition, size, fullness. I don't think he has one weak body part other than, obviously, the height is shorter. But body part, he's murdering the 212 guys, huh?
It's only proper for him to continue in the sport of bodybuilding by putting himself up against the best of the best, because really the challenge when it comes to standing next to competitors in the 212 is simply not there. The challenge with himself, absolutely, to bring a better package every time. But Keone is a competitor. So I'm really glad that he's finally taking this step to not only come into the Open, but I think really make a statement just after the Olympia, so that really it says to anybody out there that are top Olympia placers or anybody in the Olympia lineup, you think you got what it takes? come on and stand next to the guy that's absolutely undisputed on that Olympia stage.
And we got great legacy. Hardy, 212 guy. Bolmack, 212 guy. Derek Lunsford, 212 guy. These are all Mr. Olympia, Arnold Classic champions. And Derek, the king of the hill, Arnold Classic Open, Olympia Open, 212. He done everything, eh? And just 3 years ago, he was 212, huh? Beautiful body he has, Derek Lunsford, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we'll see how Derek dials it in after just defeating our current Olympia champion. Outside of the Olympia is something that historically in bodybuilding you do not see happen very often. So making that Olympia very exciting. And now with this EVLS Prague Pro, having something to look forward to after the Olympia. I mean, we can't ask for a better season, AJ. We could not ask for a better bodybuilding season.
We got, after Olympia, we got the UK. And remember, because Keone has announced he's doing Prague, the guys that were doing Prague, the little lower level, they're going to do the UK first because they know they can't beat him. And then we have Romania, where we're going to have the last of the top guys flying because they want the last Olympic location. So we're going to have bodybuilding action all the way to November this year.
Unbelievable season. Very, very happy to be a part of it. And really looking forward to you doing the commentary for that EVLS Prague Pro.
We will definitely.
Oh, man. Being there in person for a lineup like that, just knowing Keone Pearson will be there. Who else is going to show up? I guarantee that it's going to be one of the best shows, one of the best shows you could actually say of many of this 2025 season. They're very, very difficult to say. You know,
I don't know if I can beat last year, because last year with Bumstead, it was like Michael Jackson went up from the grave, and it was crazy. But this year is gonna be spectacular, and I'm happy to do it. And I'm looking forward to be hopefully doing the wrap up with you, maybe live from there, so you can get all the insights. And I can send you some videos for your Instagram and things like this, because we're going to be backstage. We're going to see how the guys look backstage. And Germany this weekend, and let me know because I'm going to be there.
Absolutely. No, I definitely will. We'll definitely we'll talk scheduling, and we'll make it happen 100%. So everybody can look forward to that. Can't wait to see it. But for now, I think we'll wrap it up right there. AJ, again, thank you very much for joining me on this very special edition of the Bodybuilding Breakdown.
It's been my pleasure. I hope to see you again soon. And just one thing for all your viewers. I know you're bodybuilding fans. I hope you use the motivation with all these freaks to be in the best shape of your life, no matter what age, religion, color. I hope you use the motivation, because I know we spend a lot of time watching this, and the motivation, use it in the gym and in the kitchen, because it's so motivating seeing them. And we all can do the same. We're all doing it, but you can be the best you can be. So guys, use this motivation. When you see the freaks, you can become better, huh? Just use the motivation. One thing I think is very important, because a lot of people watch a lot of bodybuilding, but they think, I can never. You might not look like Rubiel, but you can get a lot better. So when you use all this time watching it, try to learn and love the passion of the iron, because it's a beautiful, beautiful lifestyle.
Very well said. Very well said. You know, take your passion for the sport, put that back into yourself, and you know what? You'll gain even more of a passion for the sport that way. Absolutely. No, I agree 100%. Again, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you coming on, and we'll wrap it up right there. We'll catch you guys in the next one.